Welcome to Sophia Scientific's YouTube video tutorial. This video will show you how our products will work for your research work. And in this video, we will show you how EthoVision XT15 version will work for the tracking and detecting the animal. As you probably know, that EthoVision is video tracking software developed by Noldus Information Technology, the Netherlands, which has excellent functionality to detect and track and analyze so many kinds of behavioral research projects. And this video is for such a customer who are going to use this software as a trial. We are preparing 30 days free trial for this software, and if you are not a user and just a passenger who just goes by this video, you can also ask us for downloading and install this software. So if you are interested in it, please do not hesitate to contact us anytime. So, let's start. After downloading and installing the software, you will have a shortcut like this here, and you can double-click it and start the software. So in this video, we are going to use the sample video using the open field to detect many kinds of animal behavior. So what you need here is just restore backup. So we are going to use a sample project which had been already made by the manufacturer. So in this video, we will click this, and let me mention here, if you tried to start up this software, first you will be prompted to input some information. So there would be a pop-up window which enables you to input your email address and trial key code. Trial key code is a kind of alphabet letters which enables you to use the startup of the software. And this key code will be provided from us. So first you need to ask us for this key code. Okay, let's go back to the original topic. So after pressing this restore, you will be prompted to select the sample file. And we have here today mouse behavior recognition in open field. So this is a sample file which is as large as 25 megabytes, and this can be also downloaded, and we will have a link on this YouTube comments. So if you do not have this file yet, please access the link and try to download it. So if you choose this, what you need next is to open it, and it will indicate the location you will store the experiment. And the software will automatically restore the inside of the content of the file, and this you can ignore and just answer yes. And this message is saying that you are not having the hardware key which can protect the license of the software, and this time of course you do not have the license for this software, so it warned it to you. So just press close. And we have the software and sample project here. And let me show you how the EthoVision software works for you. So you will have an experiment explorer here, just the left side, and this is displayed all the time. And the EthoVision software has three main parts: setup, acquisition, and analysis. And all what you have to do is just start with the top items and go through these items to the bottom. And at the very end, you will export many kinds of data, and your research project, experiment project, will be finished automatically. So this is a relatively complicated software, but it's quite easy for you to go through your experiment with using this software. I guess the music is a little bit too loud. Okay. So let's start with this experiment settings. So in this setting, you will set many kinds of things. For example, you can select the video source, and we usually use a video file, but we can use the camera, live camera, for live tracking. So if you connect the software to the camera live online, you can also collect the data live. And this item, you can also select the tracked features. This means if you are going to detect and track only one point, which is the central gravity of the animal body. And this is the option. So please note that EthoVision software has a construction of modules, and it has a base module which is quite basic, and you have to have it anyway. But in addition, according to your requirement, you can add many kinds of modules, individual modules, according to your wish or requirement of the experiment. So in this case, you can also choose the central gravity point and also nose point and tail base points. And these are optional modules. So if you need this functionality, you have to select the module. And also, we have some other options, like you can choose the number of arena. Arena means that the area where your animal can be moving around, such as open field, several kinds of mazes, water maze, or any kinds of area. Sometimes it may be a field under your microscope. Anyway, you have your site or video where your animal is moving around. You can define your arena. In such cases, and if you are going to track multiple arenas, for example, you have a camera on the top of the ceiling, and you will make a video under the camera with open fields, more than one. You will need your special option. And this time, we will also track the behavior, animal behavior. With this module, you can detect many kinds of rodents behavior such as sniffing, grooming, reeling automatically by the software. And this is also the option. So if you are going to choose what module you need, you have to be careful. Okay, so in this experiment setting, you will set up this kind of basic items. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is a manual scoring setting, and if you do not have the automated animal behavior recognition option, you will score those behaviors manually, and if you do that, you will have to set up this. But this time, of course, apparently we have automated recognition functionality, so we do not have to set up here. And this is arena setting. So this is quite important information, so I will take some time to explain this in detail. So what you can do here is to define the arena. So the arena is, as I mentioned before, the entire area where your animal can be moving around. So in this case, we will use the square open field like this. And inside the arena, we also have zones. So in this case, we have wall zone. So what I did now is to duplicate the arena. Because in this sample, these things are tightly fixed, and it is not recommended to make a change. So once we duplicate this setting, we can freely moving this around, and or we can add new zones like this if you like. So let me show you how this is working. So we have some drawing tools here. So what you need is to use these tools to describe and define the zones. Zone is the conception that is just below arena. And this is calibration. So the software doesn't know any idea about the distance inside the video frames. So we have to define the distance information. And this is arena. Arena is the entire area, just the outside. And zones are the category of the area just below the arena. So you can define the zones as you like. And finally, you can validate setup by pressing this. So you can be free to draw your arenas and zones as you like, but there is no warranty that your setting can be working properly or perfectly. So this has to be perfect, because if you have any failure about logical algorithm, the software will not work properly. So you have to make sure that your setting are logically perfect. And to evaluate that, you can press this validate setup, and this is saying valid arena setting, so you're perfect. So let's go back to the first one. So please do try to remember that you have two arenas inside. You have one arena and two zones inside and outside of the floor. This is called wall zone, and this is for detecting reeling behavior. The software will automatically distinguish between the supported reeling, which is something like this. The rodents are standing by the support of wall, and even it can be reeling completely independently. So in that case, the software will automatically judge it is independently reeling, and these two kinds of reelings will be distinguished. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is a trial control setting, which enables you to set how you can start the acquisition. Acquisition means the start. Acquisition means the trial, collecting the data. So in this software, acquisition or acquire means the collection of the data of coordination of those animal points. So if you start the tracking acquisition automatically, you can set like this. So this is an example. So this is saying when center point is in arena is longer than 1 second, or after 3 seconds, the tracking will automatically start. So this logic is working like this. So if you press the start button, the system will not start the acquisition yet, and it is ready for the animal getting inside the arena. And once the animal is appearing inside the arena longer than 1 second, it will be waiting 3 more seconds, and the acquisition will start. And this time we will also set when the acquisition should be finished, and this time infinite time. So the acquisition will not be finished until you press the stop button. But you can also set the after time. So this means the tracking, the acquisition will automatically stop. For example, after 5 minutes or 24 hours or something like that, the software will automatically stop the acquisition. So this is something like this. And you can also synchronize your external devices like pellet dispenser or liquimator, or what else, or lighting system, or some other stimulating system. So when you try to synchronize those external devices, you can make an algorithm when your device will start. So this is a quite complex story, so we will skip it for now. So next we will make a detection setting. So this is a quite interesting screen, so let us have some time. So now the animal is coming inside the arena and exploring like this, and this is showing how EthoVision is detecting the animal body surface, which is yellow now, and also you can see 3 points, and the blue one is the nose point, and red one is the central gravity of the body, and this purple one is the tail base. So you can track those 3 points individually. And now here you can modify the what should be displayed. So this is a head direction. And trail. So in this video you can see very clearly that to which direction this animal is moving to. And this functionality is detection setting, so you can adjust how the system can be detecting the animal and tracking the animal, and you can do that manually by using this kind of parameters. This is also a very complex algorithm, so we can skip this. And for beginners, all what you have to do is just press automated setup. So the software will take care of you by setting these kind of things for you automatically. So you do not have to do anything about this. But please be cautious. Please pay attention that the condition of original video. So this is a video you are going to make or you have already made, and you can realize, understand very well that the contrast between the animal and background are quite clear. And this is a very important point, significant point for this kind of video tracking system, because video tracking system employs the video technology. And if you have your animal, black animal, onto the black background area, of course you cannot see the animal, and the software will neither. So you have to be careful all the time about the contrast between the animal and background. And also it would be advisable that you will take care of the lighting condition. So here you have the reflection of the light which may be on the ceiling, and this kind of reflection will corrupt the video condition. So you should avoid this kind of interfere. And it would be one idea just to use indirect lighting, which is something like that. So if you have a light, for example, somewhere around here, you should not light into the inside of the arena directly, but you should put the light to the ceiling. So the light will go up to the ceiling, and the entire of the ceiling will softly reflect the light, and then will light up your arena indirectly, very softly and gently. And this is one idea. Okay, so after you press automated setup and you succeed in detecting the animal like this, you can go to the next step. Then you will have a trial list, and this is for designing your entire experiment project. So you will probably use many numbers of animals for as your sample, and you will acquire so many data even in one day. So if your design or schedule or planning of your experiment is not well organized, you will lose the control. So in this list, you can organize your experiment quite sufficiently. For example, you can add trials. Trials means the one acquisition of the data with using one animal. So you can add the trials, as many as you like, and add variables. This is an example. So this is a label which should be attached to each individual animals. So let me have an example. For example, this is treatment, which is a text information, and you can also select a numerical or timestamp or something, which is subject to a subject animal. And with pressing this button, you can make your label as you like. So if you let's assume that you are trying to compare the difference between control animal and treated animal. So you will bestowing some drugs or something you like. You can set this kind of label here. And if you are going to use the control animal for your first trial, you can select like this. And second one, if you use a treated animal, you can preset or even post-set, of course, these parameters as you like. And if you have so many trials, so many data from so many animals like this, you have a huge list of data here. But you can set those labels onto each individual animals quite flexibly, and these labeling will be gathered at the point of final data analysis. Okay, let's go to the next one. So you will go to acquisition. So this is a trial version, so you cannot acquire the data. So I will show you how to acquire the data afterwards. So let me go to the next functionality. So this acquisition, you will acquire data as a routine. So maybe you can understand now, these kind of settings should be done at the very first moment of beginning of your experiment project. So it will take time, of course. Maybe you have to spend half of your day, but from the next day, you do not have to do this anymore. This will work permanently. And from the next day, all what you have to do is to do this acquisition routines. So you will put your animal inside the open field and press the start button, which I will show you later, and track and detect and collect the data. And this is quite simple because the software will do everything for you. So all you need to do is just pressing the start button. And in this sample, one track is already acquired. So let's go to the analysis. So I am still wondering which I should start with, but let me start with this integrated visualization. So this is quite interesting to see because we have a video here, and we have a playback control like video deck, and when we press the play button, the video is replayed automatically, and you can also see those 3 points are automatically shown, and you will be impressed by the fact that EthoVision is detecting and tracking those 3 points quite accurately. Oh, this is really impressive. Of course, this is samples, so this should be good, nice. And below the screen, we have also this kind of graphs, and this graph is showing when the animal is grooming and reeling supported, reeling unsupported, and really resting, sniffing, walking, hopping. So this kind of animal behavior cannot be these behaviors used to be quite difficult to detect automatically, but now EthoVision has AI, artificial intelligence technology, to detect those behaviors. So anyway, you can see the video and data simultaneously. And the nice thing about this software is that so you have your cursor like this, like hand, and this hand can grab like this. And if you grab the graph and drag it like this, you can see that the graph and video are perfectly synchronized. So let's have a look on this moment, which when the reeling support is just started, and let's have a look. So I can get rid of this controller so that I can get my screen bigger. And where was I? Yeah, this one here. So you can see that this is reeling. It is a little bit difficult to distinguish, to identify this is really reeling, but yeah, at this moment it is clear that the front ports are being left from the floor, and this is reeling. Okay, let's have a look about other parameters. This is sniffing. So at this moment, from this moment, this is sniffing. Yeah, it is quite difficult to tell if It is really sniffing. So let's try to oh, I don't have to do that. I can. I did it wrong. So you have this feature here, nose point. So with this functionality you can visualize this kind of things as you like. So we are going to observe him if he is really sniffing at this moment, and we can also change the playback speed. So this is 0.5, half speed of the playback, and let's try. Even the half speed, it is quite difficult to watch him if he is really sniffing. Okay, let's try to replay. And sniffing again, and sniffing, and sniffing again. So now you can see that the system is detecting those behaviors quite accurately, and this pink bar is showing that he is walking, and at this moment he is sniffing again for a certain while and walking again, and this is reeling, unsupported. And what else? Grooming. Okay, let's try to find the grooming behavior. We have this function, zoom out. So if you click, the scale of the graph is changed and shrinked, and this time he's grooming. He's really grooming. Well, it is quite clear. This is crystal clear that he is grooming. And grooming her again. So this is the result of the analysis, and so you can see this kind of integration of the data in the integrated visualization. And maybe your question here would be, are these everything? Are these all the parameters which can be analyzed by this software? Of course, our answer is no. This is much better, much superior software. So I am now coming back to the analysis profile. And in this screen, you can see, you can grasp all the parameters which EthoVision can analyze. And these are so many parameters, in fact. For example, and these can be categorized like this. Movement, location, path, direction, body, trial control, and mouse behavior recognition. So these are categorized, and if you spread or expand this, you have these parameters inside. So as to the movement of animals, we have this has moved, velocity, movement, which is if the animal is in motion or completely with no motion, and you can compare them, and acceleration. So in this case, what is unknown? I can delete this by right-clicking this. So if in the integrated visualization screen, you could see these parameters as a graph, as a form of graph. But if you are interested in distance moved, you can press this button. So it says it's calculate the distance moved of the animal, and you can select which body points are moving, and these are trial statistics. So in this case, the software will only calculate the total amount of distance moved. But if you are also interested in other parameters like mean or minimum or mixed maximum, or even standard deviation or standard error and variance, you can check as you like. But of course, you will have enormous amount of outcome. So please be cautious. And so we have to press. I have to press add button. So if as soon as I pressed add button, so you can see the new parameter distance moved is added here. Okay. So if you are interested in velocities, speed, you can add, and location. So if you are interested in time and frequency of the animal is staying or visiting the animal, you can choose this parameter. And path is a kind of geometrical significance of animal movement, such as meander. And if you are doing Y maze, for example, you might be interested in this kind of zone alternation behavior. And meander is I can, of course, I can say this in Japanese, but I am quite at a loss how to express this in English. So this is a kind of a movement, how straight the animal is. So if the animal goes straight like this, the meander is quite low. And if the animal is making many angles according to the distance he made, so this is a meander is high. So this is a meander, for example. And this is a direction, the direction of the head, or if the head is directing to the zone, or turn angle or angular velocity or something like that. And body parameter contains the elongation parameter. Elongation is the how widely the body is spread. So this is based on the theory that the rodents tend to spread their body if they have less stress, quite relaxed, their body will be spread widely. And if they are stressed or feeling cold or something, the body is quite circulated. So this is a kind of things. So if you have interested in any of these parameters, you can pick up the parameters as you like and add here. So here, for example, okay, let's try to add meander. And what else? body elongation. So you can add mean. So I picked up those parameters as a sample, and let's have a look how these things work. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of the video, and now you can see the new parameter must be added here. You can see the distance moved and velocity and meander and body elongation. So let's try to replay the video. So let's have a look of a body elongation. So it is interesting to compare the higher place. So this is so you can see that the body of this animal is quite spread widely, and you can also try to find this, how this is, he's reeling, so the body surface area seems to be quite small. So this is not a good example. This is also reeling. How about this? This is also reeling. So this, at this moment, he is not reeling. He might be reeling, but also he's like a sphere, like a ball. Okay, this is an elongation parameter, and this is a meander parameter also. So let's have a look. So basically he is making quite straightforward movements. So it is hard to find the meander. But in this case you can see that the nose point is quite moving like this, and this is the reason why the meander parameter is a little bit high. Okay, let's go to the velocity. So this is quite easy to understand, to see. So he is almost stopping, but he is walking, so velocity is getting higher, and also pausing a little bit, and from this moment he must be walking. So this is a velocity. And now you can understand that in this video you can have a look at the momental behavior, but finally you will have to make a final calculation. So let's go to the final calculation. This is almost where is music? The music is already finished. Statistics and charts. So I like Chopin, and this is Chopin's waltz, and this is minor one. So I'm getting a little bit sad, but let's try go further. So this is the final result or outcome of the analysis calculation. So let's have a look on each individual parameters. So as to grooming, the number of the frequency is just one, and the duration is 2 seconds. Okay, And this time, reeling supported, unsupported, these values are shown separately. The reeling, unsupported, supported reeling, he is on the wall. The number is 19 and the duration is 38 something seconds. And this is completely independent, unsupported reeling. This occurred 6 times, and total duration is 4.8 seconds. He is no resting, so he is activated. So he did not sleep at all. So this is naturally 0. The number of sniffing is 27, and the total duration is this. Walking is this, and he is not hopping. Hopping is a behavior, quite a conspicuous behavior about rodents. He encounters a quite unusual emotional situation. This is behavior probability, and these are new parameters. The distance, total distance moved, total it says, and this is centimeter. So total distance moved inside this arena is 1075 centimeters, and mean velocity, mean speed is 7.17 centimeters per second, and meander is like this. Meander is given in a unit with degree divided by centimeters. So this is the result, and body elongation of the mean is like this. So this should be your final output, and this calculation result will be shown like this. And if you acquired many trials, many numbers of animals, the list will be added like this, and it is quite time-consuming task to calculate all of them. So the final purpose of your experiment project is just to compare the control and treatment. Do you remember that? We have set those 2 labels in setup screen. So anyway, so no matter how many animals you handled, you acquired the data, your final purpose of your experiment is to compare those 2 parameters. Okay, to compare those 2 labels, of course you cannot do this in your trial, free trial, because I am very sorry, I made it wrong. I was wrong. You can do this. You can do this, even in the 30 days free trial. Okay, let's have a look. So let's go to the acquisition again. So the software probably automatically brings you to the trial too. And the screen should be like this. And you can select the video. So if you do not have this screen, you can select your video file, and video file must be automatically made in your location. So it will automatically find and open this video file. So this video file is included the sample file. So if you cannot find this, could you please try to find this file by name, and you can open it. And here you will have start button. So if you have pressed the button, the system will acquire a data. I assume that this video is not so long, and here you will see that the system is acquiring data much faster than real time, and this is because of the EthoVision's functionality. So if you use a very powerful PC in your experiment and using the video file from the outside, you can save your time, because the EthoVision will automatically acquire data based on the performance of your PC. So if you are using a very powerful PC, it will increase the acquiring time. But if you are using a very poor performance PC, it will take longer. But even in that case, the EthoVision will not lose any data just because you are using a poor PC. In that case, EthoVision will try to slow down the playback speed and acquiring data one by one, and it will never lose any data. So anyway, the trial finished, and we have 2 data. So you can see that acquisition 2 acquired. And if you are doing a trial, 30 days free trial, we have time limitation. The time limitation should be 1 or 2 minutes. I'm not quite sure. I'm very sorry for that. But you certainly have your limitation. So because this is an evaluation version, and you just try to use a trial, so you cannot. Please excuse us that you cannot acquire your data as long as you like. You have 1 or 2 minutes time limitation. So anyway, we have 2 data. And let's go back to the statistics and charts. We have 2 trials. And trial 2, it says a question mark. So what we need to do is to press the calculate. So the calculation. So because we are using completely the same video, this should be the same. But the reason why these are a little bit different is that we are not the starting point of the acquiring is different. But anyway, this video is quite identical. And let's go back to the original topic. So I was just talking about the calculation and the final output result. So we have group statistics and charts. So if let's suppose that we have so many trials here, but we are only interested in the very final result, grouped by the independent variable, which is control and treatment. So when you press this group statistic and charts, that kind of great numbers of data is accumulated here. So in this case, two acquisition data is combined and accumulated like this, and only one data is here. And we have two data, so we have error bars like this. And each parameters have this kind of summarized final outcome. So here, maybe your question is that why this is only one data. So we have control and treatment, two kinds of animals, and we want to compare them. So in this case, we are going back to data profile. So I will try to make it quick. This is already 1 hour. They're too short and too long. So this is a data profile, and this determines that here you can determine which data should be treated how. So we have two acquired data, and this is result. All of those two acquired data will be calculated as a sum. So these are not separated yet. So we have to make a separation here according to the label we just made. And this is the filters. So if you are, this is a little bit different story, but if you are interested in mean velocity, of course EthoVision can easily calculate the mean velocity, but the entire, the final result is just a mean velocity of total moment, entire moment in the video. But if you say a mean velocity, you are only interested in the mean velocity when the animal is in motion. If it is not moving completely, this should be eliminated from the calculation. So in that case, you can filter by the movement that it is moving, and you can eliminate, you can get rid of the moment that the animal is not moving. So this is an example. So these are the filters, and you can select so many kinds of filters out of here. And this time, of course, we are interested in the treatment, and treatment filter is automatically added here if you make your label here. So if you make a treatment here, so that is the reason why it is automatically added here. So let's try to remember all these parameters: treatment, trial name, trial duration, or something like that. And if you go back to here and add another label here, so for example, gender, and male and female. So now you just made a new parameter, gender, here. And let's go back to the data profile and see what happens. So the new label gender is added here. So if you distinguish your data based on the parameter gender, all what you need to do is to select this filter. Anyway, this time we have treatment filter. So let's try to press this. So the box says control and trial, treated. So let's try to press the control, and this filter is just made, and this is a filter which can only pass the control data. So if we put this filter in between those containers, two containers, we have two data, and this filter only passes the control data. The one is selected as the result. And by pressing setting, we can rename here. So this should be control. And as well, we will make a treated filter here. And we should make another result container. Result container is at the very bottom of here. Just press this and treated, rename it treated, and this new container is made here. So we have to make arrows in between. So what we need to do is to press left click here and drag the pointer into here and release. So the arrow is automatically made. Click, drag, release. So we have two kinds of result container box like this. Okay, and this is new algorithm, and blue one shows that this is selected right now. So let's go back to the statistics and charts. So now control, so the comparison between control and treated can be done here, and new definition is applied. So everything says question mark. So let's press calculate. So everything is calculated, and this time this comparison can be done. So grooming frequency is different like this, and like this, like this, like this. And of course you can choose. I double clicked on this bar, and you can select the color or anything. So this kind of things you can change. You can arrange your property of your chart like this. So this should be the final result for you, probably. But otherwise, unless that you can modify and change your final visualization or heat map as you like. So, and this you can it should be a very interesting visualization of your data, and you can utilize those visualizations onto your presentation or a PowerPoint slides or anything like that. So in that case you can choose. So let's a little bit slide. You can change the background. So this is the captured image is used, but plain can be used. And you can make like this. And the very final thing you can do is just to export the data. So you can export. Let's go back to the original place. You can export your data in two forms. The one is raw data, and the other is statistics. The statistics is just this matrix. So you can export this matrix onto Excel or any other kinds of statistical applications. Let's try. So the format can be selected ANSI text. So two kinds of text, and this is Unicode text, and of course we have Excel. So let's try to choose Excel, and the location should be desktop, and OK. I am quite surprised that this PC does not contain Excel. It shouldn't. Let me have some time. Yes, it has an Excel, of course. And so you can see all the analysis output is exported like this. And of course, we can export raw data. Raw data means all the data points of this trial, such as all the combination of XY coordinates of the animal are based on the time points, timestamp. And of course, this should be much larger than the matrix we saw. So this is the example of raw data. So we have some headers here, and this is the contents of the raw data. So time based. So this time the sampling rate of data acquisition is, I believe, 25 or 30 frames per second. So if I mention the time frame of the sample, basically, as well as we are familiar with, is the time frame of the video is 30 or 25. It is different based on the NTSC and PAL, the region. But in case of detecting and tracking 3 points, the sampling point must be maximum. So the movement of rodents, so if we are interested in the movement of rodents, so many samples are not needed and necessary usually. So if you are only tracking one central gravity body points, we do not need it, necessitate the so many body points, the 5 or 6 points, data points per second would be enough. But if we track 3 points, in that or especially interested in the behavior, the software needs much information about the contour, body figure, body configuration. So in that case, we have to set the maximum sampling point. So this is the reason why so many points are scored in this Excel file. But anyway, the parameters can be XY center coordinate, a nose, tail. So these are basic information calculated into the centimeter unit. And area means the body surface area, square centimeters, and body area change, elongation, and direction. And these are the behaviors. So behaviors are since 0 or 1 because it is on or off. And distance moved, velocity, meander. So these are all the selected parameters. So this will be changed according to which parameters you choose, and these values will be added. So the video itself was only several minutes, very short, but the size of the exported file would be 1 megabyte, but still relatively small. Okay, so we went through all the parameters and explored how EthoVision is working for the open field analysis. And we came here based on the sample file, which this is the name of the sample file, mouse behavior recognition in open field XT 130. This means that this sample was made under the version 13, so this is a little bit old. But anyway, if you are hoping, if you want to use your own video, of course this is a natural desire for every trial customers, so you need to trial list, and you will add the trials as many as you like. Maybe you will have some limitation also here, I'm not quite sure, I'm sorry. But anyway, you can add your trials here, and you have video file here, and you have button. So if you press this button, you can choose the video files you already have with you. And please note that the format of video files should be like this: MPEG, AVI, or MP4. And of course, it will happen that you can use other formats of video, but it is not 100% for sure warranted. I personally experienced that some video cannot be replayed properly. It should be something digi or ziggy. It may happen. So anyway, this is how you can use your own video files. And finally, let's go back to this menu. Make backup and restore backup. This is very important functionality. Make backup means that you can include everything in here into one file, including media file. You include everything, and if you hope to make backup read only, you will, but many occasions we should remove this check. And okay, let's say desktop. So backup created, and this is a file. The file is named mouse behavior recognition in open field XT 130.evz. This is extension, which means EthoVision zip, and this contains everything including the video file, so the size should be relatively big. In this case the video is quite small, so it is only 25.1 megabytes, but if your video is long enough, this should be sometimes giga, of course. But good thing about this is you can archive everything into one file, and this file is of course movable. So you can take this file onto other PC which already has EthoVision installed, and then what you need to next is to select the restore backup, and on this menu you can choose the restore file. So it indicates you have to select the file with this extension, so you can select and press open, and everything will be reproduced onto your new PC even. So this is quite nice thing. So I think we have explored everything, at least very important points. So I really hope you could enjoy this video with me. So this was a quite long video, which is something like 1 hour and 20 minutes, and I am feeling quite guilty that I have deprived your important time, but it would be my pleasure that this video can be some of your help. So if you have any questions, please let us know. We are always more than happy to support you. Thank you very much for paying your attention, ladies and gentlemen, and see you soon somewhere again.